All right, so the leaks for Chapter 285 have come out, and we're just going to be talking about them in this video. Keyword talking, guys. But this chapter is amazing. This is probably going to be the most hyped chapter we've had this arc so far, and you'll find out once it's eventually released. But anyway, so the first page, I guess, we're seeing like Izuku having that flashback to like around season 2 time after the sports festival when he's talking to the doctor. About like, your arms are all messed up from using 100% when you're not supposed to. And if you use it, like, I don't remember the exact number he says. If you use it like 3 more times or something, you'll never be able to use your arms again. But of course, he's gone past that and, nothing bad has ever happened. And I always thought about that. I was like, so I guess they just threw that out of the window. The stakes haven't really been high on Izuku, busting his body up using One For All. But now it's coming back into play because he is leveling Shigaraki in this chapter. Like, he's taking it to him the most we have ever seen so far. Like, blasting him 100% over and over again. Some insane feats of power in this chapter. Like, just in one particular, where we just see smash in all capitals. Like, it is a massive shot that he's landing on him. It looks like something, pretty much All Might would be doing when he's seriously trying. As he's taking it to Shigaraki, we see everybody on the ground, like Bakugo, Endeavor, Todoroki, all of them. They're like coming up with some kind of plan or something. Because apparently Izuku's arms are pretty much done. Like, he says he can't feel them or he can't use them anymore or something like that. And it goes back into what we were talking about with the flashback of the doctor. I don't know what the ramifications of that are going to be, but it seems like Izuku's pretty much at his limit, or he's about to get there. So Bakugo, Todoroki, and Endeavor seemingly come up with this plan, and I guess they're talking to like Aizawa as well, where they're going to fly Endeavor up to Izuku and Shigaraki via like Bakugo using like his explosion, because he could pretty much fly, blasting himself off the ground and whatnot. And they're going to have Endeavor do something to Shigaraki to help Izuku out, and we'll get to that. But while this is happening, Bakugo is like having a flashback of him and Izuku watching All Might on TV, like what we see in season 1. And he's like, All Might is like sacrificing himself to save all these people. Like, we see him saving this little girl or something. And then he has a flashback to him like bullying Izuku, and then him going against Izuku in the first little test thing that they had, like in the whole building when Izuku teamed up with Uraraka and Bakugo teamed up with Ida. Then he remembers throwing his compost book, into that koi pond thing. And then he's, intermittently remembering All Might as well. And he's like seeing that Izuku is pretty much the second coming of All Might. And that Bakugo is wrong for the way that he has treated him throughout his life. We saw that in the previous chapter, that he's coming to terms with him being like a bully and him being insecure about how Izuku is like, the true hero of this story. And Bakugo probably isn't, although, he's pretty great in his own way. So while he's going up there, he launches Endeavor at Shigaraki, and Endeavor grabs him from behind. Like, think about like when Goku grabbed Raditz. He grips up Shigaraki and he's going a full-blown prominence burn. Maybe it's the plus ultra prominence burn. I don't know. We'll see when the translation comes out. But he's definitely doing it. So think about like when he was doing it to the high-end Nomu. Pretty much the same exact thing is happening here. He is nuking Shigaraki with the prominence burn. And Shigaraki is definitely feeling this. I mean, he's like, this is like the most, I guess, pain or just full duress that we've seen Shigaraki in this battle so far. And it seems like he's about to lose until suddenly he gets like that, I don't know, it's either like a glimpse or it's like a real manifestation. They're going back into that like All For One spiritual supernatural quirk world where All For One himself, I'm pretty sure this is him, like his hand is coming out of like the void, and he says something. He's like, I don't know, maybe like, here, unlock more of my power, or come more to the dark side, something like that. Because after this sequence, Shigaraki unlocks that quirk that we saw All For One use back in Kamino, like the forcible quirk activation, which he called it at that time, although it was just like, we've seen it as like cyberpunk spikes, pretty much. You know, the extent that he's using it, it's like it's not just coming out of his fingers, it's like coming out of his back, and it's like shooting through Endeavor, you know, who was holding him at this point doing the prominence burn. So he pierces through Endeavor, and this wrecks Endeavor. Pretty sure he's not dead, but he lets go and he falls. And Shigaraki's just completely like charred at this point. Obviously still alive, but you know, he's angry and he has like the cyberpunk spikes coming out of him, and he's shooting them at Izuku at this point. And Izuku is like pretty much spent. We could still see that, I guess he's in 100% at this point. He does have like a lot of like, you know, electricity and stuff around him, but but his arms are definitely wrecked. Like, they are clearly done at this point. So I don't even know if he can really fight with them anymore. So as he's shooting them, these spikes at Izuku, which are seemingly going to take him out, Bakugo's like seeing this, and he's like, oh, all right, I got to do something. And then he has like this collage of flashbacks. Like, that's how it's pictured in this panel. It's just panels on top of each other. And it's remembering all of the times that he like bullied Izuku, and all the times that they've worked together. And also like when Izuku saved Bakugo from the sludge monster. So I guess he's like, you know what? It's time to do the right thing. It's time to do what All Might would do. It's time to do what you would pretty much do, Izuku. And that's be selfless and save the person that's in need. And that's exactly what Bakugo does. He pushes Izuku out of the way. Like, he bursts over there, you know, using explosion. And he gets stabbed by these spikes from Shigaraki, like straight through the solar plexus, through the arm. I can't really see where else it's puncturing him, but he's definitely getting punctured through the stomach somewhat. So, yeah, Bakugo finally has his moment where he saves Izuku, like, big time. I mean, you know, throughout the series, he's done it here and there, especially in the movies and whatnot. But he's full-blown sacrificing himself, full well knowing that he could die in this instance. And so let's get into it. Is he dead? Probably not. I would really be surprised if Bakugo dies here. I'm thinking this is more or less going to be a device to, I don't know, maybe have Izuku, you know, go like, you know, the Rage Shonen power-up boost, like, oh, my friend! And then, I don't know, maybe he gets another quirk unlocked or something, or maybe he gets his, like, fourth wind from this, and then he can go deeper into 100%, or maybe he goes into that quote-unquote 1,000,000%, or, you know, just gets a vestige power-up here, which I don't think we've seen him get so far in this arc, so maybe this will trigger that. But anyway, yeah, I don't think Bakugo's dead from this, but he's definitely taking the most damage he's ever taken in the series at this point, and he's probably going to be benched for the rest of this battle, I suppose. But we'll talk about this tomorrow when the full translations come out. Well, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, guys. If you liked the video, please give it a like. Also, I have a Twitch and a Patreon. Check those out, please. I'd appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.